Hey friends, it's Jenny Cokerts, and I wanted to make a short video for you that gave you kind of a behind the scenes look at our Power of Story course, also answered some questions, and gave you a peek inside our Flourish Writers Power of Story course workbook. So we've been getting some questions from many of you about the course, and I thought it would be so much easier to answer them here via video, but also to give you a peek behind the scenes. We know that some of you want to make a wise investment, and you know, just like when we go to the store, we want to kind of see what we're getting. I'm like that when I make purchases, so that's why I want to show you basically exactly what you're getting. So I'm going to do two things. I'm going to show you a little bit of our workbook, but I'm also going to show you inside the learning portal. So you see exactly what your online learning experience is going to look like, okay? So I want to start with the workbook. This is something that we've been working really hard on. We knew that one of the biggest barriers, I think, to some of our students finishing the course was not being able to either print out their workbook or not being able to access it, or really not being able to have it right in front of them. And we created this workbook to be the guiding light of the course. It walks you step by step from point A to point Z, and it's a workbook. We want you to actually write in it, do all your work in it, short of actually writing your story, which you'll do on your computer. Everything else can be done in here. So I want to show you some of the little gems that are part of it. The first is that each module has a checklist, okay? And this is what makes it, I'm going to do it this way. This is what makes it really unique, because we tell you what to watch and what to read and what workbook pages to do when. And we created the course that way so that it was very handheld, so to speak. We're not able to be there to actually walk you through this process in person. So we thought of, well, how can we do that as best we can without actually being there to walk you through the process in person? So we have broken up the course and really walked you through it by creating this checklist that says, watch such and such video, read these pages in your workbook, complete the workbook pages on, you know, such and such pages. So each module has that. Another nice thing is, like I already mentioned, is it's a workbook. So all the work that you're going to be doing throughout the course has room, plenty of room. This is an 8.5 by 11 workbook for you to work in right in the workbook. We also have, this is a great section for your spiritual battle plan. And we've got a story map in here as well. I can't find it now. That walks you through right here the planning of your story. And this is a great way to refine your story idea. So you've got access to this. You also have access to, if you're not able to get a print copy, you also have access to a digital copy. So if you want to make more copies of, for example, the story map, you're able to do that. The last thing I want to show you here is this incredible editing phase that Mindy created, where we give you so much, and I think it's flipped on the camera, but we give you so much information to actually edit your devotional. So for example, here it says overused words should be deleted, and there's a nice list of overused words. So when you're editing your devotional, you can actually look back and know, or look back at your story and pick out maybe any of those words, and then there's a whole exercise on words you can replace them with, or just to get you thinking to really polish your writing. So those are some of the gems included in the workbook, okay? And we're so excited to be able to offer that as part of the course now. So, but before I show you the learning portal, I want to answer some questions that we often get about the course. The first question is, what is a devotional? We've been using that word sometimes, and but basically, a devotional is just a style of writing. And it's a style that we use within the course to teach you how to write your God story. And really what differentiates it is that it is purpose driven. And you might say, well, what is that? This is where your story becomes your God story. And that it's the God story that is at the forefront of the devotional. It has a strong purpose that the reader reads your story and really understands, really feels hope and joy, really has read a story of redemption or a story of God's faithfulness or a story of God's goodness. That's what we call purpose-driven stories. Another differentiator is really the length of it. These are about 600 to 1,000 words, and they really are a perfect length for really getting a portion of your story out. We call that, if you look during the planning phase of the course, once you've chosen your story, we really help you refine it and choose a story within that story that has a truth that you learned, and that's what you're writing about. You're writing that smaller story, and you're writing about that truth that you learned, and that's what you're writing. So it's a great length to be able to do that. And nowadays, unfortunately, especially on blogs, we have a very little time to capture the attention of our reader and to actually keep them reading. So devotionals are a great way to get your story out there, but also to get your God truth out there. Is the course self-paced? It is. We did this intentionally because we know that many of you are busy, and it helps you fit the course in around your schedule. With that said, it could be a blessing and a bit of a curse because there isn't as much accountability built in when you're doing something on your own. So to combat that, we've got a couple of things. We've got a very active and engaged Facebook group that can really help you. And also we have monthly coaching calls. And we want you to be a part of those. That will help you stay accountable to really finishing the course. If you work diligently at it, and we're using this estimate, taking normal life into consideration, the course will take you anywhere from 8 to 12 weeks to complete. If it starts taking you too much longer than that, you're probably going to lose steam. So we really want you to complete the course within about 12 weeks at most. Will the course be available? Again, you might be hearing about the course now, but it's available at any time for you to jump in and sign up. The course is $59, and we have really wanted to make it affordable. There are similar courses that run $600 to $1,000, and we knew that if we really priced it too much more than what we have it at, it wouldn't be accessible and affordable for many of you. We even have a payment plan where you can split the payment into two. All right, and if you have any other questions, you are welcome. There should be a comment box below this video, and you can leave them there, and we'll be checking those. Or you could always email us at info@flourishgathering.com with any of your questions at any time. All right, so now I'm going to show you. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, and I'm going to show you. Oops, that's the wrong thing. It's actually our workbook. Oops. All right. Okay, so what I want to show you here is our flourishwriters.com website. This is actually where you can go. It's nice and easy. if you want to sign up for the Power of Story writing course, or there might be a link attached to this video. But at any time after you sign up, you can go back to flourishwriters.com and actually log in to the course. And you'll come to a screen just like this where at the time of registration, you've set up a password and you can come back. It's an easy website to remember, flourishwriters.com, and sign into the course. Once you do, okay, you are going to see this. This is where you're going to come to, and basically it's our navigation area for the course. And in your workbook, you will know exactly what to watch when. So you should be able to go right to that module, or if you're working in the phase, and select the video that you're going to watch. There are times that you'll be watching more than one video at a time, and there's other times that you won't. You'll only be watching one video, and then the majority of the time will be spent in the workbook. But the first thing you want to do is definitely come here and to our introduction in our getting started module. That's really going to prepare you to be successful with the course. And here you have the video embedded right into it, and you can press play.
Hello.
And there's Mindy welcoming you to the course on behalf of both of us. And there'll be videos here. The prayer guide is basically what we also call our spiritual battle plan. So our getting started module and our prayer guide module are steeped in prayer. And we want you to spend a lot of time with the Lord before you get into any of the actual nitty-gritty writing with the Lord. Just first confirming that story that God put in your heart. But also, even for us when we write, it's such a Holy Spirit-based process because we really want to do it alongside Him and not in our own strength. If any of you have tried or attempted to write in your own strength, it's like torturous. And I have not always enjoyed writing. So it really is very important to me that when I begin writing a devotional, that I've connected with the Lord. And the words will just come so much easier, and the process will be more peaceful. So a lot of the course, the beginning of it is we lay that foundation, and that's what these couple modules are. Then we jump into our 6-phase devotional writing process, which maybe you've heard all about at this point. But if not, I'm going to walk through them really quickly again. Phase 1 is the idea phase, and there's actually going to be a few more videos here. We're in the process right now of just adding all of our final videos. I just need to upload them. So you're going to see a lot more videos. Phase 1 is the idea phase, and this is where we walk you through a brainstorming activity to actually choose and select what story should I write. Phase 2 is our planning phase, and this is now you've got your story, okay? Now how do I actually refine that story? And probably the most exciting part of this phase is that story map that I showed you in the workbook. This really helps you think through, brainstorm, and kind of refine the story idea. So you're really honing in on that purpose, that truth that you learned in that smaller story. Phase 3 is the organizing phase. And this is where you'll organize the details. But before you even do that, we are going to talk all about purpose statements. And that's exactly what I just mentioned. We've got some excellent videos here on what is a purpose statement, how do we clarify it, and how do we then communicate it in our writing. Phase 4, which you can't really see here because of the screen. Let me see if I can scooch over. No. Phase 4 is all about writing. We've got the art of storytelling. We've got some great tips for writing your first draft. And we've got an excellent teaching on, this is actually one of like our little bonus teachings on the crucial first paragraph. This is really all about how to capture your reader's attention and keep them reading. Phase 5 is a goldmine. It's the editing phase. So once you've got your draft of your story, you'll come here and you will learn exactly how to edit like a professional editor, your own story. We've got a checklist in the workbook so you can get someone else to do what we call a friend edit. It's so important to get another set of eyes on your story. And then we've got some self-editing examples and a walkthrough that Mindy has done. And then we've got so much more. The workbook is actually chock full of information and amazing things for the editing phase. But this really sets you up for success to be able to revise it and finalize your story. And then you can actually publish it. And what does that mean? That just means you share it. It doesn't have to mean anything more fancy than that. The last part of the Learning Portal is what we call, is this area right here, the coaching call replay. And this will have all the coaching calls stored here. And so if you're not able to join us for the monthly live coaching calls, if you're not able to join us live, you can come into the Learning Portal and watch the replay right here. And the reason there's none right here yet is because we are about to add our first one here this month. So that will be available to those after that first. So this is basically the Learning Portal, and it works in conjunction with the workbook. The workbook really is where you do all your work, and it's where you know where to go, so to speak. And then the Learning Portal is where you'll watch all of our training videos. And we probably have, oh my goodness, at least 10 hours of content, of teaching content in those videos. And we know that by the end of this course, you will have that God story written. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this was able to give you a little bit more insight, so to speak, into the Power of Story writing course. And if you have any questions, reach out to us and we will be glad to help you.